So I logged in with user separate browsers so that we'll test for remaining sharing models. So whenever you are logging any private browser, it will ask for security code. So you can set up your mobile number at user level. You can get a OTP directly through your mobile instead of checking email. Okay, that under maybe you can check. You can register your mobile number in user level, right? So same as yesterday, I logged in with the developer account in Edge browser, and I logged in with the some manager user in private window. Okay, and now yesterday what we discussed about OWD, right? So what is OWD? What is roles in detail? Already we discussed. Based on OWD, we can set the organization level organization level, record level permissions. We can enable or disable based on the requirement. Right. Again, I'm repeating. The point is very important. If you make any changes at OWD level, so that changes are applicable or the permissions are applicable to all users irrespective of the profiles. Okay. Based on OWD permissions, the data is visible based on role hierarchy. So role hierarchy, it will tell us about your organization hierarchy. Even though it is tells about organization hierarchy, it will control data visibility based on OWD permission. Okay, OWD permission. Right. So next today is we are going to discuss about manual sharing. Next concept is manual sharing. See, why go with the manual sharing? So why we are using manual sharing means, suppose if you know already, so we can stop the role level permissions by using grant using hierarchy checkbox. That also we discussed yesterday. Suppose if OWD is private or public read only, if any user required for additional permission, or if you want to override the OWD permissions, or if you want to share the data by edit access, or if you want to share the data from one user to another user, how we are going to share the data means we can share the data using manual sharing, and we have a automated process as well. Okay, so manual sharing is nothing but, suppose user is not having record level access. If user required that particular record, then user requested to admin to share the record from manually or maybe some condition level. Okay, let's see what is manual sharing example. So if you go to sharing model, go to the sharing settings, security model, under sharing settings. Yesterday what we did, so we have changed Zomato order object is private, and also we are disabled grant using hierarchy checkbox. If it is disabled grant using hierarchy checkbox, what will happen? So manager means higher role users cannot able to access subordinate data based on role hierarchy. If we are enabled, data is visible based on organization role hierarchy. So how to stop the role hierarchy means by using grant using hierarchy checkbox, we can control the data visibility based on role hierarchy. Okay, so this option is available only for custom object. Standard object by default it is enabled. It is not possible to modify the grant using hierarchy checkbox, that already we discussed. Now if OWD is private, what will happen? OWD is private. Owner of the data, whoever owner or which user is created by own data, they're accessing their own data only, not other users data. If this checkbox is enabled, maybe managers can access subordinate data with edit access. That is the private of the OWD, already we discussed. Now as of now, manager cannot access subordinate data. If you go to Zomato order here, if you open the Zomato order, if you go to all order view, she is not able to access developer data. Even though developer is reporting to manager ROM, but manager cannot able to access subordinate data means because of grant using hierarchy checkbox is disabled. Now even same vice versa, manager data, developer is cannot able to access because of OWD is the private. Private means subordinate never access for manager data. Now I want a developer access manager order. Manager is requesting to share manager data to the particular order to developer Sam. How to share this data? Now manager is asking, So manager want to share this data to developer. How to share the data manually? Means we have a sharing button in page layout. If you click on sharing button, so there is a button called add, then we can check which user it is required. We can share the data for 4 ways. One is the public group, roles and subordinate users. This public group, roles and subordinate will discuss in detail later. As of now, we can select user. Which user required for access? Developer Sam. What type of access it is required? Either it is a edit access or read only access. We can give the edit access so that developer can modify the data. But simply developer require read access, then you can select the read access. Developer cannot able to modify. This is how we can share the data manually. Again, I'm showing. Open the record. Which record you are going to share manually? Open the record and click on share button and click on add button and select the users. Select the developer Sam and click on it. Give the access level is read write and save. Once it is saved, see the reason clearly it is showing it is a manual sharing. Okay, it is a manual sharing. Now go to the developer. Previously developer accessing only for 01. Now if you go to all, so see now developer can access manager data and is going to able to modify the manager data as well. So this is something like manual sharing in Salesforce. Why go for manual sharing means if any user required for data access, then we can request to the admin or maybe we can request to the record owner. Owner can share the data from one user to other user manually. How to share the data? By using sharing button in page layout level. Okay. See, suppose now this Zomato order is created by developer. Now developer wants to share the data to manager. Click on sharing button here, add here, select the users. Either you can share the data role wise, roles and subordinate data, bulk data you want to select, then you can select bulk users, not for single user. If you want a single user, you can select the user. Public group, roles and subordinate. If you want to share the data based on role or based on group of users, then you can select above options. I will tell you later when go for these options. Select the user, developer. I'm giving only read access. Click on save now. Sorry, manager, not developer. Developer is already owner. Now save. Once it is saved, it is showing manual sharing. If you go to record and click on here, now go to the Zomato order. Now see, he is able to access developer data, but only read access. If you click on edit, you will get insufficient access. This is how we can share the data by using manual sharing. Okay. And also here, you can check one more. Sometimes, maybe some people are shared the data, but some of the customers are asking how the record is shared to this particular user. We want to know which user is sharing the record or maybe how the record is sharing. So how to debug the issue? See, suppose Venkat is accessing other users' data, but as per compliance team, so compliance team is asking, so how Venkat is accessing for other users' data? So how to debug those kind of issues? So sometimes maybe by mistake, maybe customers or maybe owner of the record or maybe admin can share the data from one user to another user without any request or maybe by mistake only. But how to debug that issue and how to rectify the issue? Simply how we can check whether record is shared or not means just simply click on sharing button. Here it is showing how the record is sharing to the particular user. Either is a owner or manual sharing or maybe through development. Even development also it will track here and also it will share by using automated process. Okay. So how to debug the issue? Go to the record, click on sharing button. You can get to know how many users are accessing this particular record and how the record is shared to that particular user. The reason clearly it is showing either it is a manually shared or maybe the team or maybe automated rules. Okay, so that is how we can debug the issue. Hope you clear what is manual sharing. By using sharing button, by using sharing button, we can share record from one user to another user or users. Okay, users manually. Okay, so this is important. Now what are the permissions we can enable? Permissions is either read only or read write. Read write means that is edit access. Edit access, above one is view access. Only these two permissions you can enable by using manual sharing. Okay, how to share the open record, which record are you going to share? First step, and click on sharing button, and also click on add button. Select users based on requirement. Select the permissions, and then save and test. Okay, this one. So this is how we can share the data. When go for manual sharing? Okay, this is one more question. When go for manual sharing, you can understand this table. Suppose OWD permissions. Okay, manual sharing required or not? Okay, required. And the next one is permissions. Okay, now understand this table. What are the common permissions we have in OWD for all object? I'm going to give first permission is public read write. Second permission is public read only. Third permission is private. Okay, tell me, if OWD is public read write, do you want to enable manual sharing? Is it required? Required or not required? Manual sharing is required. If OWD permission is public read write per object, do you want to share that object data to other users? Is it required?
Not required.
Not required. Very good. Why? Because already OWD level user is having full access. He is able to access any data in organization level particular object. Then no need to share. So not required. Very good. So permissions also not applicable. Now tell me, if the public read only, do you want to share the data manually from one user to another user? Is it required?
Not required.
No, is required. Why it is required means user is getting limited access, right? Even though he is accessing others data, he is having only view access. When it is required manual sharing, if user required read write access, clear? If user required edit access, then we can go for manual sharing. Clear now? When it is required. Now what about private?
Okay.
Private also it is required. Private which access? Either read only or read write. Read write permission. Okay. So these are the permissions it is required. Hope you clear. When go for the manual sharing. Suppose sometimes interview people are asking, account OWD permission is public read write. Now user one data to share to user two data. That is how people are asking. So you can say that. So no action is required. Why? Because already OWD permission is public read write. No need to share the data from one user to another user. Already is having base level of access. Okay, something like that you have to tell answer. Right. Hope you clear. Right. Next topic is sharing rules. So first concept manual sharing is we can share the data manually one by one record you can open, and you can share the data from one user to group of users. Suppose in customer is asking to share the data based on some condition, or maybe we want to share the data, manager data always to developer. How to share the data? As soon as manager is created order, we want to share the data to developer automatically without manually shared. How to share the data? Suppose we have that system, we are going to share the data without sharing manually. How to share the data? So that is something like sharing rules. By using sharing rules, system automatically share the data based on what we are going to define. Okay, based on the logic, system automatically it will share the data from one user to another user without sharing manually. Okay, above one is the manual operation, below one is the whatever we are going to discuss, that is the automated process. No need to send the data, or no need to share the data manually from one user to another user. Let's see how to share the data. Right. So what is sharing rule means? Based on sharing rules, system automatically share the records from one user to another another users. Generally sharing rules are two types of sharing rules we have. One is owner based sharing rules, and the second one is pretty field filter based filter based sharing rules. Okay, when these sharing rules are filed, when record is created or record is updated automatically sharing rules are triggered. Sharing rules are triggered based on condition. Okay, this is how sharing rules are triggered. Let's see one navigation, example first. As soon as manager create zomato order zomato order zomato order share the orders to developer SAM. Developer automatically. Okay, only manager data we need to share automatically. So that is the example. Now what is the navigation? Same navigation is same. Go to OWD, otherwise setup, administer, under administer, security controls, under security controls, sharing settings, go to object sharing rules, related list, and click on new button. Okay, new button. So this is the navigation for sharing rule. Let's see how to define this one. Go to Salesforce. See, now when open the OWD, go to the administrator and security control and sharing settings. Once you open the sharing setting, so if you scroll down, we have a sharing rules for both standard and custom objects. We have a sharing rules for both standard and custom object. Now standard objects are showing first, and go to down here. It is available. Both custom objects and standard object sharing rules are available. Which object you are going to write a sharing rule, that you have to go to the related list and click on new button. Now if you click on new button, see, this is the automated sharing rules. See here, there is a two types of sharing rules we have. One is the record owner based sharing rule, and one is field filter based sharing rule. Let's see one example for each scenario, so that you can understand easily. Right, first what I'm going to do, manager to developer sharing. Just example, you can give the name, any name of the rule name. First step is the rule name, you can give any name based on requirement. And the second step, based on second step, step 3 is rendering. Step 3 is rendering based on step 2. If you select filter based, step 3 is changed to filter, select the field filter. If you select the owner, so step 3 is select which owner data we are going to share. Step 3 is the from, step 4 is the to, which user, okay, which user data to share with whom, that is step 4. Step 3 is which users data, and step 4 is share to whom, okay. That is the step 3 when selecting owner based sharing rule. Now I'm going to select, here we have only option called public group, roles and subordinate. I don't have option to share the record, to share the record to user, selection of user individually. Now as of now I'm going to select role is SFDC manager. So as of now, why I'm selecting role means SFDC manager, how many users are assigned? As of now, only one manager. Okay. So that is the reason I have selected role here. Suppose this role is contain more than one user, only specific user data want to share, then we have to use for the public group. Or do you want to share all the roles? Suppose this role is contain 100 users, all 100 users data want to share to the developer, then you can select roles here. Okay. Suppose we want to share role and subordinate data, my data and my subordinate data to share to another users, then you have to select roles and subordinate. Maybe we'll discuss in detail example later. Select SFDC manager data to, again I'm selecting role, because of these roles are as of now assigned to only single user. So I'm going to select SFDC developer. As soon as manager is created, Zomato order automatically this user will get the access. Which type of access it is required? I'm giving only read only access. Otherwise I'm giving read write access. Click on save now. Once it is saved, now go to here Zomato order, see that this one is created. Now let's see, if you go to Zomato order, click on developer accessing two records. One record is manually shared from manager to developer. Now I'm going to create one order from manager. Let's see automatically it will share or not. Go to new button. I'm going to create wedge order. So select that Sam manager order, and if you want you can select wedge 1, 2, 3. If details is required, you can enter. Click on save now. I'm not going to click on sharing button and click on share. Now go to the developer, refresh. See, developer automatically accessing for manager data, and also is getting edit access because of we are enable edit access. How you know how the record is shared automatically? So suppose in sharing rules we have hundreds of sharing rules. Do you want to validate hundreds of sharing rules? Which sharing rule it is required? Not required. Just click on sharing button. See, now it is showing SFDC developer role. It is shared custom object sharing rule. Clearly it is showing that if it is showing sharing rule, it is automatically share the record from manager to developer. This is how we can share the data from manager to developer or from one user to another user by using sharing rules automatically. As soon as record is created or as soon as record is updated based on condition, system automatically will share the data from one user to another user using sharing rules. Hope you clear this example. Hmm?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, steps: enter label name. This you can give any name. Step 2 is choose the owner based sharing rules, and the third one is select which owner data want to select whom to share the data. Okay, whom to share the data. Finally, select access level, and finally save and validate the data. Okay, this is. And also here one more example. This example is owner based sharing rule. Okay, This is owner based sharing rule. Now before that, what I'm going to do, go to the user. Where is that? Go to the roles, expand all roles. Now SFDC manager, right? Now click on edit, otherwise click on assign. As of now, SFDC manager is assigned to only for one user, right? So that is assigned to SFDC manager. Now I'm going to use manage Mohan manager as well. Okay, if you click on save now, why I'm going to choose this one, I will tell you. If you go to SFDC manager, SFDC
Excuse me,
manager
sir.
is
Excuse me, sir.
okay. Yeah,
Sir, you selected SAP manager, not this.
yeah, I understood. Thanks. So if you go to Mohan manager, edit, now you can change the SFDC manager. Save now. Right. If you go to roles now, open the SFDC manager. See, now there is a two users we have. Okay, as of now, two users we have. Now the requirement is, so next example is field filter sharing rules. I'm going to explain field filter sharing rules. Next example is, as soon as manager Mohan, or maybe as soon as accounts are created by manager Sam, then share the records to developer. Okay, so who is the developer name? Developer Sam, manager Ram. Okay, developer Sam. As soon as accounts are created or accounts gets created, okay, accounts gets created by Ram, then share the records to developer Sam. And also consider only accounts which are rating is warm. Okay, which are rating equal to warm. We want to share the data. One is created by Ram, and we can share the data to Sam. Otherwise, maybe this requirement I will read. This is not. As soon as accounts gets created or updated with rating is warm, then manager Ram. I want to share record only for manager Ram. I don't want to share the record both manager Ram and manager Mohan. So now if you select the SFDC manager, this SFDC manager, how many users are assigned? This role is contain more than one user. Now as soon as account gets created or updated, any user, either admin or maybe sales user, whatever. So if account rating equal to warm, automatically we want to share the records to only for manager Ram, not for manager Mohan. How to share the data particular to this user? So, but sharing rules, we don't have option to select the user, only particular user. But what is the option? Means first we have to create a public group. I will tell you why go for the public group. First we'll create. Go to the account sharing rules. I think account is private only. Yes, account is private. Now go to here, click on new account sharing rule. Warm accounts sharing to Ram. Okay, warm account sharing to Ram. What is the condition here? Condition is rating equal to, you can select multiple conditions as well if required. Select the rating equals to warm. If this condition is satisfied, condition is satisfied, and you can share to which user it is required. If you want to, by default it is under condition, same as list view and list view. You can change or condition or under condition if you have more than one condition. That also it is possible here. Okay, we can add up to 10 conditions. We can add, I think so. If you go to here, add row, see up to I think 15 conditions or 20 conditions we can add. I think 20 conditions we can add up to. That is the governor limit for here. Oh, 25. Yes, up to 25 we can add here. Not one, up to 25 conditions we can add. Otherwise, you can add one or two conditions based on requirement. And any condition do you want to change under to or maybe r to and, then add filter logic here. Okay, so that is same as list view. Already we discussed in list view, right? Same procedure here also you can follow. Now here the drawback is, now you know condition how to add. So this is the field filter condition sharing rule. This is input. Okay, now from whom to share? I want to share only for manager ram. I don't want to share for both manager ram and manager sam. If the requirement is shared to both Mohan and Ram, then our job is easy. Directly we can select role and SFDC manager, the requirement is fulfilled. Why? Because so both users are assigned to same role, so we can select. But if you select now, but the requirement is not fulfilled. If you select now, including manager Ram, it will get manager Mohan also can access the account data. Now, how to select individual user from this drop down? We don't have option. Then what is the other alternate option? Means public group. You have to create a public group to store which users it is required to access account data based on condition, that you have to check. If the any possibility is not available for roles and subordinate, and then how to share the data for particular users or group of users, then you have to go with the public group. How to create public group? Maybe later also we'll discuss about public group and queue. As of now we can understand, go to public group, create new public group. Here SFDC manager or IT managers. I'm going to use IT managers group. Here you can select which users it is required. You can add one public group to another public group, or maybe here it is possible multiple ways to select individual users or group of users. Select now. I want to select only manager Ram. Okay, manager. 1 minute, guys. Manager Ram. Now you can save. Okay, simply give the label name of the group name, select which users required for this group, and you can save. Public group is nothing but by using public group you can share the data from one user to group of users. So simply it is contain individual users or others group data. Okay, if you want to store irrespective of the roles, do you want to store individual users in one place, then we can use for public group. Now public group is created. As of now, if you refresh everything, it will gone. Maybe I'm going to save, copy, refresh. Once it is refreshed, give the label name of the sharing rule, select the filter criteria, that is rating equal to hot, sorry, warm, and select the public group IT managers. Internal users means all users it will consider. I don't want all users, particular IT manager. In this public group, how many users are there? Only one user is there. That is something like manager Ram. Okay. Now here which access it is required, I'm going to give read write access. Save now. Name is already existed. Where we are creating, I think it is saved already. Maybe I'm going to give one. Select the IT manager. Save now. Who are they? Go to here account. Oh, so that is also saved. First one is also saved, I think. Why two times it is saved? Just to remove the second one. Right. It is removed one and it is created. Now see. Now refresh one. Once it is active, now it is activated. I'm not going to do anything. Just go to accounts now. You can check all accounts. Is able to access. See. whatever rating. If you click on create new, or maybe go to the user, here admin account, go to the accounts, there is a all accounts is one of the related list view is there, right? Go to here, add rating field, go to the rating, now enable, now save. Now once it is saved, go to here, refresh. See now, rating equal to warm, automatically this user is getting access. Why is getting developer Sam account means this is subordinate account, he is able to access, but remaining warm whatever accounts are available is getting access. Okay, let's see one more. I'm a system admin, click on new account. So this is warm account, select the rating equal to warm and click on save. Now automatically this record is shared to manager. Go to refresh. Now go to refresh, see warm account is shared to manager. How it is shared? Based on sharing rule. If you click on here, go to sharing rule, sharing button, it will show with account sharing rule. Okay, this is how we can share the data based on field filter condition. Hope you clear. Yeah, someone is having question. Anyone having any questions?
No, sir,
Yeah.
very clear.
Yes, how to add field filter. Right, this is how we can add based on field filter and also based on owner. This table is same. Here also this table is same. Okay, when go for the sharing rules. So when go for the sharing rules, same story. Sharing rules are required. Same. Remaining is same only. Same. If manual rules means, so if OWD is public read only, if you user require read write access, you can create, or if OWD private, sharing rules are required. So remaining conditions, sharing rules are not required. Okay, right. Clear. Now we have a one more button called in each and every sharing rule section. We have a recalculate button. What is this recalculate button? Why Salesforce is provided this recalculate button? See here, recalculate only if sharing rules are updated have failed. Suppose you are defined the sharing rules, but the data is not shared automatically. So existing data automatically it will share. No need to update the data. Okay, legacy data, no need to do any action. If it is a data is already there, the condition is satisfied, automatically system will share. Suppose you define the sharing rules as expected, or you are define the sharing rules based on requirement without any issues, but still data is not visible to the users, or still data is not shared properly. Then what we have to do? Simply go to recalculate and click on OK. Automatically again reprocess the sharing rules. See, the sharing rules again it is initiated to share the data backend from one user to another user based on sharing rules. Okay, when click on recalculate button, automatically the sharing rules are reprocessed and the data is shared to the users. Okay, sometimes maybe some network issue or maybe some deployment when deploy the sharing rules from one environment to another environment, sometimes maybe sharing rules are not updated properly. So that time what you have to do, you have to go to the particular sharing rule, click on recalculate button, so that the sharing rules are reinitiated and the data is processed again in backend. Okay, so that is, so if any data is not shared properly, even though you defined as expected, but you have to click on recalculate, your issue is going to resolve. Okay, this is right. This is something like sharing rules and manual sharing. I have one question. Yesterday I told you, right? This question asked by something IBM company. Exactly, I don't know. I think IBM only. Right. Object is maybe account. You can consider as object is order. Maybe object is order. So role is user one, and user one is reporting to, sorry, user one subordinate is user two. Okay, and also right. So OWD is public read only. Public read only. Okay. Now question is we want to share the user one data means higher role data to user to data automatically. How to do that? Automatically with read access. This is the question. Tell me what is the answer. Understand the question. Object is order and OWD for order object is public read only. OWD for order object is public read only. Okay, and the user one is the higher role, user two is the lower role. Now user one data want to share to user two. So how to share the data? Either I'm data with the read access I want to share. Tell me how to share the data. Understand the question? If
Manual sharing, sir.
okay, one answer is manual sharing. What about another one? Anyone having any answer? Manual sharing. Okay, what about others? Is it correct? Think once. My answer is no action required. Why no action required? What access
Because
you
read-only access is required. I think
Yeah, the read only will be like it is default, right, sir?
no, yeah,
We
it's a
don't have
default.
to do anything.
exactly? Why? Because with read access only it is required. Already user is having OWD level public read only. He can able to access other user data, right? Either user one, user two, user four, whatever data. Then any action is required? No action is required. Exactly. So this is how people are asking. Suppose if data is required with edit access, then your answer is correct. Either manual sharing or maybe sharing rules. Clear? If question is read access, say suppose same question. If you want to give the edit access, then your answer is correct. Either you can do manual sharing or sharing rules. Hope you clear. Hmm? This is how people are asking. Okay, that is the reason. If you are not understanding question properly when interviewer asking, so you can ask multiple times and try to understand the question first. Sometimes they will ask reverse manner. So without any action. So some people are telling immediately, yes, it is possible by using sharing rules and manual sharing. That is wrong, right? Hmm? I think this one is clear, right? Anyone having any doubt so that I can explain. When choose for roles, when choose for roles and subordinate and when choose for public group. Do you want to explain in detail or enough? You understood, right? When choose for this one, roles and subordinate and public group. Do you want any
Yes, sir.
example
Yes,
for
sir.
this? Do you want
If
example?
you elaborate it with the example, it will be easy for us.
Okay. When choose for below options. Sure, I'll explain. Public group, roles and subordinates. Okay, right. So role hierarchy. User one hierarchy is user 1 2 and hierarchy is user 1 3. Okay, now user 2, maybe here I'm going to change user 1 1 and user 1 2. Now here one more role hierarchy. User 21, user 22. Okay, enough. These two roles are enough as of now. Let's see, we can understand. User 1 is assigned to Raju. Okay. User 2 is assigned to Ram and Sam. Okay. User 11 is assigned to Venkat. User 21 is assigned to Lata and Teju. Okay. Now user 21 is assigned to Mohan. And the user 22 assigned to Prasad and Yash. Okay. So this,
उसमें एक चीज याद आई मुझे अभी अच्छा ठीक है
anyone have any? Can you please mute yourself if you don't have any question, please? Some noise is coming.
sorry
Yeah, thank you. So now you know role hierarchy. User 1, user 2. User 1 sub roles are user 11. We can use product object, or maybe we can use any account object. Now OWD is private. You can think like OWD is private. So most of the time, if OWD is private, then only we can go with the sharing rules. Okay. 1 minute, I got a call. Just give me 1 second. Sorry. Okay. Now the first question is, question number is, share the account data from Mohan to Lata. Okay, this is the first one. Next question is, share the account data from Ram and Sam to Venkat. Okay. Now next question is, share the account data from Raju, Venkat, Lata and Teju data to Prasad and Yash. Just understand these three questions so that you can understand easily. Right. You know sharing rules, right? Sharing rules, we have two options called from and to. We can think like owner based sharing only. We are not going to use any field based sharing rules, right? Yes or no? So here everything is owner based sharing only. Okay, now next question also, from and to. Okay, same from and to, right? Now tell me here, share the account data from Mohan to Lata. Which options are suitable here? Tell me. Mohan is which role? Mohan is user 21 and Lata is user 12. One of the person is Lata assigned to user 12. Now which option I am going to select from? Role or roles and subordinate or public group?
Roles and subordinates, sir.
Why roles and sub? I want to share only for Mohan data to Lata. If you select Mohan is subordinate, roles and subordinate, Mohan will consider Mohan subordinates are nothing is there. Mohan
Okay.
is only one user, right? Then we can choose role here.
Roles. Okay.
Role only, roles. That
Okay.
role is nothing but user 21. Now tell me, assign to whom and assign to whom? Lata. Can I choose role here? Can I choose role user 2?
Yeah.
User
Yes.
1 2? Then Teju will get the access, right?
So only for Lada we need to choose it.
Yes. Then how we can
Okay.
do? Then create a public group. Public group and add Lata to that group. Hope you clear. Clear now? Now
So
suppose you created public
if
group
you
and
create
Lata
it
wants
as roles and subordinates, it will be directly assigned to Lata, right?
see roles and subordinates. See, think about you can select which role we are selecting here. Tell me.
We are selecting. Oh, there is no hierarchy here.
No, here already hierarchy is there. User 1, user 1 2, user 1 3. User 1 is the higher role. User 1 2, user 1 is subordinate for user 1. These two rules are subordinate for user 2, right? See,
Okay. Okay.
if only required for Lata, not for Teju.
Okay, sir. Okay, it goes from
Lata
Mohan
is
to
required
Lata.
means,
Okay.
yeah, we don't have option for users, right? If we have options for users, directly we can select user directly. Yes or no?
Okay, sir.
So we don't have
Yeah, yeah.
option on in sharing group, right?
Okay.
At least hope you understood. Now come to this point. Share the account data Ram and Sam to Venkat. Who is Ram and Sam here? Ram and Sam to Venkat. Which option in it is suitable? Ram and Sam data to Venkat. Which role I'm going to use? Which option?
From we need to select a public group, sir.
Why public group? Here Ram and Sam is assigned to which user, which role? User
No,
2, right?
they are assigned to user 2. Yeah.
Right?
So that
Okay.
must be roles, sir. Roles.
Roles and roles,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that is something like user 1, sorry, user 2 role. I'm going to select roles. That is something like user 2. Clear. What about 2? Venkat also it is assigned alone, right? Then directly we can
Yeah,
assign
it's
to
a
role,
only
right?
user. Yeah,
Exactly.
it can be role.
Roles. Very good. Perfect. Now tell me, last one. I want to assign Raju, Venkat, Lata, Teju. These all users data to Prasad and Yash. Which option I want to take here? I want to minimize something so that we can understand single screen. Right. Now tell me, I want to assign Raju, Venkat, Lata, and Teju data. These four users data to Prasad and Yash. Which option it is suitable?
Roles, sir. First one is roles.
First one is
We can
roles. Okay.
roles
Which
and user
roles?
one. User one.
User 1. Okay. Next.
And create public group and add Lada and Tej. No,
No.
it
Prasad
can
and
be roles,
Yash.
sir. Roles only. Roles and
It
user
can be
12.
roles. Okay. Which role?
User 12.
User 2.
Sorry, user 22. 22.
Right. Now think like this answer is fulfilled. If you select user one assigned to whom? Only Raju. Only Raju data can share Prasad and Yash. What about Venkat, Lata, and Teju?
Though we need to add user 11 and 12 as well.
Then how to add? That is something like roles and subordinates. Yes,
Subordinates.
sir.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you select roles and subordinates, if you select the user one, automatically the subordinates also it will cover. So that Venkat, Lata, Teju data also it is considered by system to share the Prasad and Yash. Now requirement
Okay.
is fulfilled. Hope you clear when go for the roles, public group and roles and subordinate.
Okay, sir.
Now clear?
Yeah. 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 Thank you.
Right. No problem. just there is a few more permissions we have, like only two concepts. One is the teams and one is view all modifier at profile level. That it will take just 30 minutes. That I will cover for next class, don't worry. And maybe Apex sharing at the time of development. Share. Okay.
Okay, sir.
More minutes, please hold. Okay, just 5 minutes. Okay. So whenever share the data, so if you click on sharing, this is separate object. This is the separate object. Okay. Account, whenever sharing the data, one record is created backend. That record name is nothing but sharing record of the main object. That is something like account share. Maybe at the time of development, I will repeat so that you can understand more. Not now. Okay. Now we can ignore that one. Yeah. Right. So next class is on Monday. So Monday same time we'll connect. Happy weekend to all. We'll see you on Monday.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.